Yes, people. So we're back. Another fresh episode. I don't know what the numbers are, but we're going to start putting the numbers on the title of the OHB Academy podcast. You know, here to help personal trainers, people in the fitness industry, or people who are just interested in the fitness industry, understand how it works, the business of it, how to, make a success of yourself. So we're going to just flick through a few different topics today. I've got myself, Michael,
Coach Jav in the building.
and yeah, man, we're here to kind of kick some knowledge. So first thing is, we were just talking before the cameras rolled about like a new sign up in the academy who literally completed something we estimate, we tell you that it should take you 7 to 10 days. But we give some people 30 days, let's say it's taking a bit long. And he's done most of it in 3 days. And we were just talking about the fact that like, that is us. That's what we would do. We've jumped on mentorships and you set the bar. I'm not even going to lie. I'll give you that one because I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to wake up in the morning. I just had the call with the person, in the morning next day, I'm going to get it done. You've gone through it the same night. You know what I mean? You've gone through it the same night. I'm like, right, I'm behind already. All right, cool, I've got to go through it. But that's the energy we just bring, because when you're starting a business or whatever, and then you take that bold move of investing in yourself, like it's exciting. It's like, whoa, like this was all the missing information I didn't have. Now I just get to do it. So why do you think people are different? Like even people, just a quick one, like people, there's even information on YouTube. Like why do you think some people take action and some people don't?
I don't know, I always think paying makes you want to
Yeah,
I always think when I pay for something,
Yeah.
like I need to get it done. So that's why coaches that are struggling to build their online coaching business, they're just not putting the pieces together because there's so much information on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. There's bare consultants, there's loads of mentors. So maybe they're in this free group, they're in that free group.
It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming, yeah. And then they're not ready. And also there's a little bit of if they ain't invested, what's the saying?
When you pay attention.
You pay attention. So I think once we pay, I'm just like, bro, paid, so I need to make it work. That's my mindset. And that's why as soon as I jump on something, I'll just run through the videos. I'll put the videos on double speed, take some notes of the most important parts. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like you're definitely even like, you got me in that mentality. So I like that now where if I sign up to something, I'll even try to do it on the same night. But I would have always done it like the next day or anyway. That's my mentality as well. But why do some people not take action and let things get in the way? And why do you think people do that?
They're not hungry, bro.
I think they're just not hungry.
They ain't got the tunnel vision, bro. I think that, I don't know, I just think sometimes there's like a level of hunger that you got to have, yeah, when you want something to really, really work. And I think also, I don't know, it's hard for me to say, but I feel like sometimes when people feel like, okay, I've got another option, they won't put in as much work. So like, I feel like for me, I always put myself like, there's no other option. I can't go back to working for somebody. I can't go back to the gym. So when I act with that kind of energy, it just allows me to, I'll stay up an extra few hours to make sure this is right, or I'll make sure that, this message gets sent out. I'll make sure I do my numbers for the week because I know, all right, cool. I know if I do the numbers, I'll be okay kind of thing. So I think some people, like some PTs, they've got like part-time jobs.
Yeah.
So they don't ever put themselves in a fire where it's like,
diving
like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, and I think even when I was playing football, yeah, it was like, I never really thought about doing anything else.
Yeah.
So if I fell, I fell. Obviously I failed. So it's like, boom. But I put myself as far as I could physically before failing, innit?
Yeah, all eggs
in one basket, which is a pro and a con. Like, I always think if you give yourself a plan B, you're already thinking about the exit.
You're not lying, bro, because it's like I fall in and out of that sometimes because I heard a lot of the times people always talk about plan B, like, and it's like, African Caribbean households, yeah, like you're told like, get a plan B,
yeah.
So it's almost a bit wired into me, but then I'm always listening to people that are more successful, and it's always that common thread of no plan B. Like you win or you win, innit? There's no other option. But do you think that the problem stems with maybe we've got more entrepreneurs than, do you think more than needed? because I kind of think that everybody should be business minded, right? Even if you're a normal 9 to 5 person, you should be business minded. But should everyone have a business? And then maybe it's the same way with the PTs. Like everybody, you can be business minded even if you're working for a gym. But should you actually have a business?
Some people shouldn't have a business, bro. Like they shouldn't, because I made a post today actually. Like it's hard, bro.
Yeah.
It's actually hard. Like when I actually think about it, like what we do, or what a lot of even people that are way more successful than us. Like I think, like people say, even like people like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos and stuff. Like people talk about them as if they're supposed to give their money away and da. But bro, those guys, they work hard. I was watching the Elon Musk documentary when I was flying to Jamaica. I only got through the first 2 episodes. But this guy don't sleep, bro.
Yeah,
like,
one of them too.
He was talking about like he literally operates off 2 hours of sleep. He's had 2 divorces, 3 divorces. All his jobs have ruined his marriages. He barely spends time with his kids. Those are a lot of sacrifices that people, like most people, even me, I can't say I ain't got kids, but I'm not sure I'd be willing to make those kind of sacrifices. He don't sleep. Like, and I don't know about Jeff Bezos. I haven't listened. I don't know much about his life story, but like Elon Musk, bro.
I know he's on 1 divorce at least. I know because she took after
she took all the money, innit? Yeah.
She took
So like, he's that kind of work ethic. That's why. Obviously, he's a genius and he's talented as well.
Trillions,
but so I don't think having a business for everyone just because of the amount of work, bro. Like in some cases, you do kind of work more than if you had like a standard job.
No, in all cases, it's like, I guess the natural progression is that you'd hope for is that you go extra hard at the beginning, like you build a foundation, and then you learn or you pay somebody to teach you how to like scale, systemize and scale. But some people are really not ready for that initial part.
Yeah.
And I think some people just see it and they just get frightened and they just think, mate, do I actually have to do this now?
Because it blows my mind, yeah, like and anybody who's had like a long series of clients in any type of coaching business, you do get people that sign up and literally do nothing.
Just literally they run away.
But it blows my mind, bro, because I'm like, you're giving it all the big chat on the sales call, like, Jav, I'll do everything you say. Just tell me what to do, I'll do it. Yeah. Bro, 2 months on the line, I'm like, yo, why aren't you done?
Where are you?
Yeah, like you disappeared. Oh, you know what? It was just a bit hard. I don't think I want to continue. But you're giving it all the big chat.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, it's hard, bro. Like, it's not easy. And I think when people, it's like they walk across the bridge and they're like, okay, am I going to graph for this? Yeah. Or am I going to turn around and
most people just run back.
Most people walk back, bro.
Most people run back.
That's what happens, bro.
But it's like, if you're in that place, it's like, it's not that nobody should run a business, and it's not that like you can't do it. Like we said, it's hard, but you just kind of understand that like you got to choose your hard. Because we had the episode with Teo and he was saying like, everybody has the hard. So at work, I joked about it, but that's hard. For me, like I can't have Dan, the line manager telling me, oh, you know what I mean? Like leaning over my chair, and that's hard. Like, and it sounds like funny, but no, that is hard. That will hurt me. You know what I'm trying to say to you?
Yeah.
So you got to choose your hard, innit? I'd rather like be on my laptop and maybe like, a couple late nights, and then, so you got to choose your hard. But one thing, especially in the PT world, I think, and I made a post about this today, is just that, do you want to be a hypocrite? Because, all right, you say you want to help people, even if you are the PT on the gym floor, and you want to tell somebody who's never lifted weights before, maybe they weren't fortunate enough to be pushed down that route or choose that route when they were younger, and you want to tell them, nah, lift this heavy weight, you can do that, and then continue to do that 4 times a week, and then keep coming back, even when you're hurting and it feels shit, and keep eating this, even though you're literally wired and everybody around you and your family's eating crap. So you're telling people every day to do the hard work and do exactly what the sort of similar thing is, but you don't want to do that in your business. Gary Vee made a post about that, a video. He's like, I think you posted that.
Yeah, but
and he's like, Finnish people make it worse. He said they're the worst.
Yeah, they're the biggest hypocrites.
So it's like, let that be that inspiration for you. You have to lead for the front, or you might as well go get another profession.
Yeah. Like, no, and it's true, bro. Coaches are the biggest hypocrites. And I'm not saying, right, man's perfect. There's been things that maybe I just quit it because I weren't feeling it or it didn't suit me. Or not, I wouldn't say I've ever quit it. I've maximized it and I didn't see the results I wanted. And I put in all the work that the person told me to do. And I didn't feel like it was bearing fruit. And I've tried and I've communicated that with the coach or with the mentor. So I've never quit. Like everything we've done, we've given it at least 6 months or something like that, even longer than that.
Oh, no, we haven't.
Like I've never done like, oh,
can't really think
I've done 2 months and then I'm leaving kind of thing.
No,
but coaches will be on this. Oh, you got to work hard. You got to count your calories. You got to do this, but they're not.
They're not doing it.
And you know what? Yeah, that actually, not a spiritual thing, but in an energy way.
Yeah.
It reflects on why they can't pick up clients. You know,
of course it is.
Because they're not living their truth.
Yeah.
Because they're talking one way about I work hard, I do this, but they're not living. They're telling you to do something that they don't live.
There's no synergy.
There's no synergy, bro.
There's no synergy. There's no synergy. Flow state. Like with flow state, from what the little I've read about it, is when your actions and your words and what you're putting out there, they're just all aligning. So, you know, if you're doing one and the other, I think I've been there before where my synergy wasn't there because I was basically doing that, but yeah, like probably at a far depth level because I do go hard. But that leads me to a point because you talk about the like obtaining clients, and I think that point, the if you're actually in it now and you're online coach, the point where it gets hard if you're not living your truth is sales call. You know, and sales calls, if you don't know, if you're fresh or you're new to online coaching or you're just hearing about it, because a lot of people tell me like, you know, I don't know about online, how does it work? The entry point for somebody to get into your program is via a sales call. Yeah, if you're going to take any decent amount of money. Some people do preach and talk about the no sales call methods or the DMs, but especially like we have to put things into context. In the UK, to make decent sales, you're probably going to have to do a sales call, right? So what's some of the things you think that can just really mess people up in sales calls? Because for example, we had one of our members, right, who had his first sale recently, innit? Yeah, so he's been with us for a while. He's been grinding. He didn't have it easy, but you know, maybe they make it easy for himself. But you know who you are, like, and he got his first big sale. But just before that, he had a sales call that was crap. Right, I didn't even fully listen to you. Listen to.
I wish I did it now, but boy, at 45 minutes I can't get back.
Yeah. So, what's some of the things that going into a sales call that people should just know and everything?
Wait, I like to set up my sales calls in a certain way, and I think I learned a lot of this from one of the mentorships we was in, and then also a lot of self-study by going on YouTube and being in certain Facebook groups and just downloading all the free trainings. And a lot of it is just like, I try to not make it feel like a sales call. And I think it's even harder in what we do now versus fitness. Because in fitness, it's easier to do. But obviously what we do, people know that we're helping them sell this business. So it's a lot, it's not harder, but it's like, they know it's a sales call.
Yeah.
Fitness is more like,
it flows naturally.
Yeah.
The conversation flows a bit.
Yeah. So the first thing I try to do is break the ice, bro. Like casual conversation. I start my sales calls the same every time. I'll be like, I'll be like, oh, how are you? They'll be like, how are you? I'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. I just laugh and they'll laugh, bro. Every time they laugh, guaranteed. That's the starter point. Then I think where coaches go wrong is they don't get enough clarity on the person.
Yeah.
So if I say to you, I start, I get my words out. I'll say, boom. So let's say in the next 6 months, things went exactly how you want them to go. Like, tell me precisely what's the specific result you want to achieve. And if they give me some bullshit answer, I'll be like, but can you just explain what you mean by that? Or could you expand on that? And then if I still don't get it, I'll repeat their goal to them, and then I will add what I think they meant. Because sometimes people can't verbalize what they mean, right? And someone might say, oh, I want to tone up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so like, do you mean like you want to lose 10 pounds of fat? Like,
you want to
like what specifically? And then they'll be like, oh yeah, 10 pounds of fat. So you got to get that clarity, because the more clarity you have, when they get to the end of the call, if they are giving you maybe some objections, you can actually, it sounds mad, but you can use it against them, basically.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, so it's basically if there's any type of if there's any lack of clarity, then it just ruins the flow of the call. It ruins the natural side of it, and it adds a layer of just dishonesty to the whole thing, because it's like you're not speaking out the truth. So when it gets to the end, it's easy for them to tell you that, oh yeah, no, I've just got I've got to leave, I've got an appointment, or I've got to do this, or I have to talk. Me and my wife, we talk about every single decision, so I've got to do that. When it's not true, but because you was already talking at a surface level, and we never got to the to the root,
Didn't pull the truth out of them.
then it's just easy for them to deflect on him.
And I think another thing that a lot of people do on sales calls is that they don't ask enough questions or the right questions. So all of that stuff at the end, like, oh, I need to talk to my wife. Before I even get to the pitch, I'm asking them, is your wife on board? Do they support you? I use this one line. Does your wife support you trying to get in better shape? And would they be happy for you to like invest in that? And if they say no, then I'll be like, okay, well, is there any way we can get her on the next call or something like that? And I'll try to end the call a little bit earlier so I can get the wife on the call. And it's about asking these questions before you pitch the program, so that you can never completely stop an objection coming, but we want to minimize the amount of objections as we can. So asking the right questions is the key, really. And that's kind of what we give our clients with our sales scripts and stuff.
Yeah.
The right questions to ask.
Yeah, no. So I feel sometimes you definitely can avoid the objection though. What you said is so key. It's about asking the right questions. Because if you don't, it's just gonna come all at the end. All right. And then when when it all arrives, all those objections arrives, then you're just a bit like dazed.
Yeah, you're just
because you behave
like, bro, I just wasted 45 minutes, bro.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So
that's how you feel.
You got those emotions, then you're a bit shocked that you don't really know how to respond because it's all been and conversation can be going so smooth and then it goes left. And then that's a bit of a shock. So yeah, sales calls are definitely like they're intricate, and what we're giving you here is actually a lot of value, because like you said, you've downloaded some trainings and followed some people, and I know I don't really know the prices, but I know some people are charging some big coin for sales trainings and programs. So what would you say is just like, and not just give me like one more tip that you would give somebody for their sales calls?
This one I think will make a difference. Is you need to find out their why. But there's two things. You need to find out their why, and you need to create urgency. So finding out their why is more than just saying, why do you want to lose the weight? Because again, people give you a surface level answer, right?
Yeah.
So when you find out like their real reason why, and it's not, oh, I want to lose weight. It's, I want to lose weight because I'm tired of looking at myself in the mirror and not feeling sexy, or I'm tired because my partner doesn't find me attractive anymore and it's affecting our sex life, or I've had a heart attack before and I want to be around for 10 more years for my kids. Like, those are the things that you can say to somebody, okay, so now we can start to create urgency.
100%.
And then when we create urgency, we can try to eliminate this, I need to think about it thing. Because when you create urgency, it's like, okay, well, like, if I found out already how deep it is for you, I can then ask you a simple question. Is this a now thing or a later thing? Like, why do you actually want to do this? Is it something we can sort out now, or are you happy to push it down the road for a few more months? If they say they want to push it down the road for a few more months, I'm not even going to pitch. I had it literally on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I said to the kid, yo, he's a young guy, 20, and he's working. I don't want to say everything, but he's working.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I was like to him, look, like, is this a now thing or a later thing? And he was like, you know what, to be honest, now that we've had this talk, I think it's something that I want to do a bit later. So I just didn't pitch him. I was like, okay, well, I'll message you in 2 months. So when you get that, when you find that out, it will help you avoid the, I need to think about it, because you've got the why, got the urgency, and then we can kind of push them to make a decision type of thing.
No, that's a fact. That's why it's important to do sales calls if you're trying to sell online coaching, because with the fitness, it's very like, there's no fence. It's very like left or right, because you can talk to someone, try and tell them about fitness, and they just like literally just par you off, like, no, laugh, and how much you charge, and just keep it so cordial, quick with you, and just really not give you a chance, or not a chance to give you that real value. Like, most people will shoot off the type of prices that we charge for online coaching if we just told them like that.
Yeah, you need to deliver the value first.
If you get into a call and you hear certain things, like for example, I was on a call today with someone for fitness, and I literally like, what's the reason behind this and all that. And I dug deep because people will give you those surface level answers first. And we dug deep and then found out that, like he wants to change jobs. He's in a very, crazy role. And I said it how it was. I said, like I wanted to find out what kind of schedule, what your schedule is like. Like I said, look, the true reality is there are people who are enslaved type of jobs. You know what I mean? Where like, like they're literally working around the clock. Outside of their contract, and they just have to do it to keep things going, and that's just how their thing works. I just wanted to know. And he, revealed that, he actually, his plan is to get out of his job, but he just doesn't have energy, don't feel like he's, when that comes to play and someone's revealed that, about themselves, when it comes to you trying to like tell them to join, it's a lot easier to pivot and say, okay, like, you want to think about that? Is that the type of,
think about it.
Is that you want to delay on this?
And another thing that I learned is actually during that conversational process, you actually want to start to paint the picture of someone that they don't want to be like. And an example I can give you is like, you almost want to tell like stories within your conversation about the type of actions that unsuccessful people take.
Versus,
so it might be like, the scenario that I usually have and I've got written on my script is like, I literally have it in writing. Tell stories about why people who say they need to think about it are unsuccessful.
It's a good one.
Yeah. And I'll just try to think of something. Obviously, I try to make it natural within the conversation.
Yeah, flow.
But I might be like, yeah, man, I remember I thought about this for a long time. And to be honest, like, I wish I didn't think about it. I wish I just took action straight away, because that's the reason I didn't win. It might be like, I might say something about crypto, or I wish I took action straight away when it was popping because and have you ever had situations where, you kind of delayed it and it didn't work out or whatever? You want to try and just create a scenario where you like shoot down people that need to think about it, or or even if like you, even like asking a partner, like you want to try and create scenarios where you want to find out if there's someone who takes charge of their actions rather than waiting for somebody to
give them permission, essentially. Yeah.
Exactly. What do you think about hard selling though, and not letting people come off the call, like without making a decision?
Wait, that's a tricky. You know what? Yeah. Sales calls, and just as a quick pivot on that one, yeah. Sales, you can hear how in depth we're talking regarding the sales calls. It's a big thing. So just let us know how you find this. Make sure you comment, and if you want us to do some kind of sales training, then we may be able to do that, because sales is such a big thing. In terms of hard selling, so we was on that mentorship, and it was, already what I'm talking about. It was very hard selling. Don't let people get off. And we had the other end of the spectrum where it's like, oh, just let them think about it kind of thing. So what I'm a big believer now is going with the flow. And I try to say something where by that, when we get to that place, where like I've found out a bit about them, I judge how familiar they are with me. So if somebody's kind of been following me or us for a while, and there's a layer of familiarity, a bit of trust there, then I'll just take it away. Or if they just the trust has just been built quite quickly, then we'll go towards that pitch. If not, then I'll say, look, they'll probably want to ask me the price, but I'll just say that, look, if I want to say the price, then you're just going to hear the price. You're not going to hear nothing else. I need to explain to you how it works. You need to kind of let it sit, think about, like, you have to actually, understand exactly how it works, what you're going to get, and be in a position where you're ready to say yes or no. So I said, let's break it up. We'll talk again. I'm going to send you some bits. And then, on that call, you'll be in a position to say yes or no. So I hope that answers the question. What I'm trying to say is that if we get to that place where it's a yes or no, then it's a yes or no for me. And you have to have some kind of commitment, verbal and written contract or whatever. If it's not ready, then I won't put you in that position. If I don't feel like you're ready, and I'll let you know, And some people will even like, you tell them that, and they'll still say, oh yeah, no, that's fine, let's do it. And then they'll try hit you with the, oh, I need to think about it. That, my friend, is a joker. That's a joker. And I'm going to give you the hard stop. I'm probably going to just tell you, look, like, well, I just deal with committed people. So yeah, man, I do it, but I think just set yourself up for success, not failure. So I'm a hard, like, make a decision, but I will judge like how the trust is.
Or sometimes if it's too hard, you might lose people that could have signed up, or they might have signed up on a cheaper program or a down sell. But if you was like to them, I've grown people before where it's just like, well, this is not for you.
I did that today.
You're not built for this. Like, you're not built to coach.
I did it today, bro.
You're not built to get a better body. Like, you're always going to be fat or whatever.
Yeah, I don't say that. But
no, but like some people,
yeah,
like I remember this one guy, Canadian guy, I got him off LinkedIn and I just got to the end of the call. This guy's talking to me about he had a heart attack before,
yeah.
And I just, some days you're fed up on the sales call,
yeah,
bro.
bro.
You know when you're fed up,
Yeah,
and I'm just like, bro, I'm being honest with you. You're not just saying no to me, but you're saying no to your family, to yourself, and you're always going to be overweight because I can just tell by the way you're speaking to me right now that you don't have the mentality to change your body. And he was just like, that's a little bit disrespectful. And I was like, well, you're disrespecting yourself the way that you've been behaving.
Yeah.
And just ended the call there, bro. I never heard from this guy again. But that's the thing. Coaches are a bit scared to do a hard sell. But my thing is, if someone says I need to think about it, you are never hearing from them again. It's very rare. I would say out of 100 calls, 10 people that I said I need to think about and I've let them go, maybe I've heard back from one.
Yeah.
Maybe two. Two I can think of right now off the top of my head.
Yeah.
It's quite rare.
I'm with you. No, that's why, like I said, if you just meet somebody who's very fresh, let's say that the conversation was sparked a few days ago, yeah? And you're on a call, you find yourself on a call with them. There's only a few objections, like they have no money, or they don't have enough money to pay for it, or they lack trust. And there's another one I can't remember. It's just,
so it's fair, logistical, or it's logistical, or they genuinely need permission from somebody else. Those are like actual real objections.
Yeah. So if it's a fear and like a trust, they don't have trust in the program, then that's when people need to think about it, and you should probably give them time. And don't even tell. But I try to avoid telling the price, because then they're just gonna think of you as that price.
Yeah.
People just really compartmentalize it like that. If we've overcome that barrier, like I've given it a few days or a week, I've sent you, this is the second call, I've sent you information, I've sent you my testimonials that, really showed you. At that point, if they don't want to be honest, or they're telling me about thinking about it, I'm going to, be very blunt with it.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to wrap it up there. Short for time today, but we will be back. We're going to talk about threads and everything like that. So we're going to have to...
Definitely going to do that though, because we need to get that out there.
Yeah,
because I think threads is going to be... Getting on threads might just be an opportunity for some of you coaches who are shit on video.
Yeah.
To put it bluntly.
Yeah.
Even me, I'm going to use it, so...
Yeah, threads. Boy, I don't know. I'm half and half with it, but I think any opportunity that is new, you need to explore it and you need to see what can be done and, allocate some time towards it. Do you know what I mean? Even if you put like 5% of your income into crypto when it first came out, it could have done a little something for you,
True.
So I think I do definitely get that. But if you've enjoyed what we've spoken about today, please drop us a comment, like, subscribe to us on YouTube, share it with your friends, share it on your profile.
And write a review. If you're on Spotify or Apple, it really does help if you rate the podcast and give us a review. It takes 2 seconds. I would do it for you, so please do it for me.
Yeah, that's us, OHB Academy.
Peace.